Sato's tucked back into the slipstream. I believe Yuki Tsunoda's back into the lead, but we've got both coming into the next corner, and it looks like Tsunoda going side by side.
Oh, they make contact! Oh, and crashing out Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda. They interlock wheels coming out of Les Combes, and the Red Bull cars are minced against the tyre wall. Both of them pretty furious with that, I'd imagine. Right, once more through Les Combes, and you're right, over the curb. Lawson's not got the traction, but there's no margin for error left for him by Yuki Tsunoda, and therefore an interlocking of wheels somewhat inevitable.
The front running second, Daniel Hemrick third, Chastain is fourth, Allgaier and Sadler, and a wreck on the backstretch.
Ty Majeski with a big impact.
We got hit.
Hard impact.
Are you kidding me?
He was running 14th.
Here it is, there it is. Ryan drives into the right rear quarter panel. Ty was right. Look at that car, that impact. I don't blame him for being upset. He held his line, and Ryan Reed did not hold his line and got into the 60.
You heard him say, "Are you kidding me?"
That's the 11th.
Yeah, so many times.
DNF for an accident this year in a 60 car. I don't blame him for being upset.
Hard hit there by Majeski.
And I don't blame Jack Roush for being upset either.
Morton second, Tambay third, Elliott Forbes Robinson in trouble. Forbes Robinson spinning his car out of control, and he's hit by his teammate head on, smashing into Forbes Robinson's automobile. Steven South and Forbes Robinson collide with another look at Elliott Forbes Robinson's dramatic spin in the chicane, a spin that sent him directly into the path of his teammate Steven South and resulted in this horrendous crash that knocked out two of the front runners. Well, most importantly, both drivers were unhurt.
Winning races early on in the season, whether it be in in Clio or in as a junior.
Here's their yesterday's race. They got the onboard from Paul. You can see they're obviously very close going into the chicane, but there's just that bit of contact. It was such an unlucky incident, but not great between the two Carlin teammates. But yeah, it was obviously a big role for...
You can see there's no team orders at play here. Soper wants to take the victory from Winkelhock, but Winkelhock goes through into the lead. And it really is a tremendous tussle that develops between these two around the streets of Wellington. But then Steve Soper, to make a little bit of a mistake, locks up under braking, hits the back of Winkelhock's car, who spins round. But Soper's car damaged at the front there. As he tries to continue, the bonnet flicks open, and he can't see where he's going. So Soper, having taken the lead in circumstances which he obviously didn't intend, it was a mistake to hit Winkelhock that hard from behind. It looked as though Soper was going to be able to take advantage because he managed to go around the
12 of Wallace Allen, that blue car, fighting still with Haley Deegan. They've been side by side most of the day. Oh, and now he's turned around. Oh, huge big hit for Lawless.
Huge impact into those tire barriers.
Let's see where the contact occurred here. Haley's down off a curb there and bang, right into the rear end of the 12.
Yeah, that's coming out of turn 7. She gets off course a little bit behind David Mayhew and Lawless Allen, and as soon as you jump that curb, you're kind of hanging on. So nothing intentional by Haley Deegan, just one of those deals. That car hits those curves and kind of catapults into the 12.
Motorsports to start. Let's have a look. Oh, please no. I think we know what's coming next, don't we? Quaife Hobbs up the inside of De Jong. De Jong turns in. That's left rear gone for De Jong, and takes out the left rear on his teammates. Oh dear. Shame for the MP Motorsports guys.
On board with Juan Pablo Montoya. Don't tell me the teammates collide. Surely not. Oh, they do.
What did I tell you?
Oh,
it looked
boy.
like he had damage to that bumper and got tagged and spun around.
Well, I think Montoya didn't know what power was going to do there, so he sort of left the door open with Philippi there, then just came across the bow.
The two is, I think it might have damaged Montoya's front wing as well, because a piece of the wing flew off here. As you see right here, boom, see the front wing? Broke the front wing, so that's a problem for Montoya as well.
It's all of a sudden gotten very interesting.
Looking good up front.
in this car shared by Jack Bartholomew. Now what about Carol Bash? On this lap he's going to have a go on the inside, and contact inevitably comes into the side of his teammate. Goes Carol Bash. Stuart Middleton gets second, but he's about to get the race lead because Bash has damaged his own car. Going to have the car ahead of him turning across. Look, he's already turning. Bash has only got halfway up alongside. It was not on. And round goes Kiko Galbiati, and Carol Bash is delayed. He does get going, but then he realises that bodywork's fouling against the tyre, and through into the lead comes Stuart Middleton.
First of the two Mercedes, they run nose to tail. Lee Mole ahead of Martin Short and Nathan Freak, and we're going to get a change between the two. Oh, contact! Now the number 7 car, Callum McLeod, being spun around as Seb Morris gets into his door. Dear, oh dear. Well, Seb Morris lunging down the inside, and he knew he was in trouble all the way there. He was trying to stay off the curbs so that the car would stop, but he was trying to keep as far to the right.
Push by Ben Kennedy might push Gallagher to the lead. No, Peters goes in there with him. Spinner, it's Hemrick. Contact with his teammate, Tyler Reddick. The worst case scenario for Brad Keselowski Racing.
Is that the third time we've seen a truck spin from that position today?
Exactly. And you also know there again the angle that Reddick had entering that corner. He had to turn harder in the center, and that means it has a tendency to get loose. And watch from Cody Coughlin as he sees this truck spinning and is able to get around the outside.
Cody did a real nice job getting by, had to get back on the throttle.
Kívülről próbálja meg körbeautózni Beckman Mikkel Jensen, aztán nagyon szűken fordul, és összeütköznek! A Mücke Motorsport versenyzői összemennek! Hát látszott, hogy nem akarják annyiban hagyni. Na itt van még egyszer, nagyon szűken fordult Jensen, és aztán, hát igen, ezt inkább Beckmannak adnám, mert elkezdte letolni egy kicsit a pályáról a csapattársa. Itt! Persze másodperc tört része alatt történt mindez.
All right, let's go back and take another look at this because we've got a different angle, another angle on it, and here was Danica stopped first.
Now she's going to be finished. Now her crew member on the right front is waving her out without looking down pit lane. That's just a miscommunication, guys, because what ends up happening in that situation is he wants to get her out, obviously, as quickly as possible.
Here's what had happened as he was coming in.
Now he's doing the right thing. He's coming in, and sure enough, there's Danica. She's trying to leave. She's also doing the right thing. But the most important thing is, from a team perspective, is that when you're coming in, the car that's about ready to come out has to really give way to the car that's coming in. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And Tony Kanaan was in the right in that situation.
Blackstock. Look at Fuentes hunting down to the inside.
And side by side there between the two DXDT machines as they get into that break. There's a little touch. Oh, that's disaster there for the two cars that hit earlier this season at VIR. So,
and let's give this one more look over. It wasn't much of a drift.
Yeah, it's a little bit bumpy there as you get towards that brake zone. It looks like David's car just bobbled a little bit to the right, just enough to set that glancing blow off to George's car. There you see as he ramps into the tires. Just watch right there, just a brush.
Yeah. And then there was that contact.
Luckily, no one else involved there as the field tries to get through turn one cleanly.
Car number 7, Matt Rao, now being caught by Martin Chow and Sam McLeod, his Fortec teammates. This is the reverse of their finishing order from race 1. And down to the hairpin, and here comes Chow, too far behind to make that work, surely. Matt Rao throws his hands up. Where did he come from? On board with the race leader. Down into the hairpin. Turns in, nice late apex, and then suddenly, bang, torpedoed from behind. And Sam McLeod's already gone by the time he's turned around.
They're going to be able to stay out when some of these other guys have to come in. That could get them back to the front, but driving back to the front's pretty tough. Oh, Michael just got turned.
And look at Matt Kenseth, and the 17 gets wrapped up in it.
Bunch of cars. What in the world happened, guys?
You think Chip Ganassi's had problems. I think the two DEI cars just got together. The body, watch the 44, will get swept up in it. Junior tries to cross under Michael. Too close to him to make the move.
Boy, Bill Elliott and Bobby Labonte just squeaking by. A hard hit.
2 items ahead of
George Russell. Action all the way through at the end on the penultimate lap of the series. And so Russell, oh, they've hit each other. They have collided. The two Arden Stotthorst and Kari come together at turn 14. And George Russell says thank you very much and moves up to 4th. So this was Kari down the inside, spinning round, and you wonder if Kari will get a penalty. Was the room? Let's judge it now. Riding on board with George Russell, who's the main beneficiary of this. He tries to get alongside, but I think he'd lost it on the apex of the corner.
Haven't stopped. Marcelo Hahn actually just comes in to the pit lane now. So that's the Teo Martin Motorsport Pro-Am car. Oh, and a big incident there. Big incident on screen. That involves Fabio Anidi, who is on screen there just trying to get going again. I think this is it. So the two Lazarus Racing teammates side by side here. And, well, the number 27 just not giving enough room there. Nicola Di Marco, from the head-on view, it looked like Nicola Di Marco simply turned in on Anidi. Let's have another look. Yep, not enough space given. And Fabio Anidi, kind of feel for him in that situation. Didn't look like to me as if he had anywhere to go.
Over the line this time, Palmer's gap to the guys behind 3.6. Oh my word. Well, that's one driver facing the wrong way. Surely we're going to get safety car. We might even get a red flag. No way. So down here, how on earth did this happen? You've got the Arden going up. Don't tell me it's teammates. It is going to be teammates. And spins him round. Binder spins Negrao. And that is fairly basic. You don't want to see that between teammates. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, I think Binder a bit optimistic.
Now the long blast up around 190 miles an hour to this corner, the trademark of the new circuit in Denver, the mile-wide turn. Oh, look at Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy having trouble on the inside, but then Servia was getting crossed up on the outside, and they just pitched Dario right down into the middle. You see Servia on the outside pinching in on Dario. Paul got in too hot on the inside, couldn't get it stopped on the slippery stuff, and launched over the front of Dario's left front.
Looks like the damage was actually done to Franchitti by Servia.
Wow.
The 4 and the 18.
Trying to get a little run going. 18 goes to the outside, a little bit of a bump from Gill, and it just caught him at the wrong place. These bumpers don't match up all that well. A lot of times just caught him at the wrong place and turned him sideways into the wall.
I mean, maybe it is going to be his night, because sometimes when you win, you look back and you say, "Whoo, boy, I caught some breaks along the way." Maybe those are the breaks that Matt Crafton's catching that might enable him to win his first super speedway race.
Just a little bit of a tap, and they got Harrison out of control there.
It is Franchitti, Dixon, and here they come, and oh, they touch, they make contact, the teammates. Marco goes spinning around at turn 2, and we have our first yellow of the race.
Car on your right-hand side of the screen, the blue one. Marco Andretti goes towards the center of the turn, the apex. He doesn't do anything wrong, but he just didn't expect to have Franchitti coming up so close, so quickly to him. Now his tires are cold. He just gets touched just a little bit. Some parts fly. We don't know if those parts right now are off the front wing of the 27 of Franchitti. Here we're going to watch them come up the hill. Remember, Franchitti's doing 150 miles an hour. They just touch just a small amount, and it's just enough to send.
It's not still there, but he might get it. No, he doesn't quite get alongside. Here comes Matt Neal for the lead! For the lead! Oh, they hit each other! No! Gravel! Would you believe it? Jason Plato's going to be handed victory as the two Hondas do a Red Bull and take each other off. Take a look at this, the onboard view here.
Oh, he's locked up. He's locked up straight away.
Oh, and sorry if there was any language there, but I think he was a bit upset as he went straight into the side of his teammates, straight into the gravel trap. I have to say, Shedden did really well to come home in 6th place.